The process of creating such a video is super easy and fun. Today, I'm going to show you how you can create a professional looking kids music video in just a few clicks. Let's get started. To start off, we will head over to Canva, and once you're on Canva, you're going to click on Create a Design. From here, we will select Video. Once you have a blank Canva like this, the first thing that you need to do is to change the background of this Canva. So for that, we are going to click on this background icon, then select a background. I'm going to select this gradient color as my background. You can also select a background that is a bit cartoonish. For that, you can just come over here to Elements and then search for a cartoon background. Then click on Graphic and you can select any of these backgrounds here. For today's tutorial, I'm going to stick with a gradient background. From here, we are going to bring in some text. For that, we're going to click on Text, add a heading, and I'm going to type Alphabet. I'm going to move it up here and then click on Effects, click on Shadow, click on Color to change the color of the shadow. From here, I'm going to change the font of this text. So click on the text, then come over here to your left, and you can scroll through the different fonts that are available. And I'm going to bold our text. Increase the size a bit, increase the size of the text, and we can leave it at that. From here, I'm going to bring in the different letters of the alphabet. To do that, I'm going to click on Elements, and I'm going to search for a letter A. Select Graphics. You can see that Canva has different designs of letter A. I'm going to select this letter A here. I'll place it right on our Canva. Then reduce the size slightly. Pull it down. Bring in this other one here. Just pull it down slightly. Then search for letter B. Bring it here. Bring in this other character here. And I'm going to place it right there. So let's bring in letter C. Place it somewhere there. Then bring in this other character here. We can pull our text slightly up. And we can have it curved slightly. To do that, you're going to click on Effects. Click on Curve. And I'm going to reduce the curve to about 15. If you find a character on Canva and you'd want to see more characters of the same type, just come over to your character and then click on the 3 dots, then select See More like this. So many characters will be generated for you that will be similar to the character that you had chosen. From here, I'm going to animate our ABC characters. So I'm going to click on this first letter here, and I'm going to click on Animate, and I'm going to click on Pulse. I will reduce the intensity of the pulse, and I think I'm good with that. Next, I'm going to click on this other character, and again, I'm going to click on Pulse. I will reduce the intensity of the pulse to that point. Select letter B, and I'm going to animate it. I'm going to click on Animate, or I'm going to select Wiggle, and I will reduce the intensity. Select this other character, and again, I'm going to select Wiggle, and I will reduce the intensity. From here, I'm going to select letter C, and for this one, I would want it to have a motion effect of pulse, and I will reduce the intensity again. Select this other character, and I'm going to select Pulse, reduce the intensity. From here, I'm going to click on this plus sign to move to the next scene. My next scene, I'm going to introduce the different characters. I will start with letter A. Under Elements, I'm going to select letter A. I will increase the size of this letter here, then bring in this other character, and I'm going to place it down here. Let's increase the size a bit. Next, I'm going to animate these characters. So I'm going to click on the first character, then click on Animate, and I'm going to select Pulse. I will reduce the intensity to the lowest point. Click on this other character, and again, I'm going to select Pulse, and I will reduce the intensity. Click on the plus sign again to move to the next scene. For this next scene, I'm still going to retain letter A. I will increase the font a bit, bring in sound A, and this is the point at which I'm going to introduce different characters representing the sound A. Before that, I'm going to group these 2 characters here. I'm going to select the first character, Shift, select the second character, and I'm going to click on Group. You can now see that our 2 characters are grouped together, and that is what I want. With our 2 characters right here in the middle, I'm going to bring in a card. To do that, I'm going to select Elements, and I'm going to search for a card, a white card. I will click on graphics and I'm going to select a simple white card like this one here. I will place it to the extreme right of my Canva, increase the size. Next, I'm going to add a border to our card here. So I'm going to select this card and then select border style. And I'm going to select this one here, increase the border weight to about 10. And I think that looks good. From here, I'm going to bring in characters that represent sound R. For sound R, I'm going to bring in an apple. Click on Elements, and I'm going to search for an apple. I will select this apple here, and I'm going to place it right in the middle of the card. Drag it to this end. You can increase the size so that it's quite visible. It looks good. Next, I'm going to bring in some text. To do that, I'm going to click on Text, and then select Add a Heading, and I'm going to type in apple. I will drag our text and I'm going to place it right below the apple. Increase the font size a bit, and I think that looks good. For this text, I'm going to highlight the first letter so that it comes out clearly as the letter that you're talking about. I'm going to highlight the first letter, then select Text Color, and I'm going to select Add a New Color. And I'm going to click on this color picker here, and I'm going to have it pick on the color of this apple. And you can see that the color of our first letter has now changed. Let's now animate this scene. I would want these two characters, the letter A and sound R, to move aside when we get to this scene. To do that, I'm going to click on the grouped elements, the letter A and the sound R, and I'm going to click on Animate, and then select Create an Animation, and I'm going to create a path for the two characters. I'm going to drag them to the left, and I think I'm good with that. I'm going to change the movement style. I'm going to select on Smooth. I'm going to increase the speed, and I'm good with that speed, and I will click on Done. For this particular scene again, I would want the different characters to appear at different times. To do that, I'm going to click on this scene, and I'm going to click on Position, and I will select the first grouped characters. Click on the three dots, and I'm going to select Show Timing. Now for the first characters, the letter A and the sound R, I would want them to move to the side before the card and the apple comes in. I will reduce the timing to about 1 second. Then I'm going to select the card. I want the card to appear after our first elements have moved aside. So I'm going to drag the timing to this end, and I'm going to leave the timing of the card to stay until the end of the scene. Once our card has appeared, I would want to bring in the apple, and I'm going to bring in the apple after about a second. I'm going to select on the apple. I will drag the timing to this end, and I think that one looks good. We also want our text apple to appear after our apple has appeared on the screen. I'm going to select text apple, and again I'm going to drag the timing to this end, and I'm good with that. Let's preview this scene. You can see that our first characters seem to disappear once we get to the point where we are displaying our apple together with the card. And I do not want that to happen. I'm going to adjust the timing for our first characters. I'm going to drag it to the end so that it appears all the way from the beginning to the end. Let's preview it again. I think it looks good. Before we move to the next scene, I'm going to animate our text. I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to select Animate. I will select Wipe, and I'm good with that. Let's move to the next scene. We're going to click on the plus icon, and we're going to bring in letter B. I'm going to click on Elements, and I'm going to search for a letter B. I'm going to animate these two characters. Click on the first one, and then I'm going to click on Animate, and I'm going to select Pulse. I will reduce the intensity to that point. I'm going to select this other one as well, and I'm going to select Pulse as a motion effect. Reduce the intensity to that point. From here, I'm going to bring in the next scene. And for the next scene, I'm going to duplicate the scene where I had adjusted the timing. So I'll click on the three dots, and then I'm going to click on Duplicate Page. And I'm going to move this letter B scene right here. I'm going to bring in letter B and sound book, then click on Position, and I'm going to place them right behind the card. Next, I'm going to animate these two characters, so I'd want them to move to the left. click on create an animation. I'm going to create a path for the two. I'm going to select on these grouped characters and I'm going to move them to this end. I will increase the speed to that point. From here, I'm going to bring in a character that represents sound. I will delete the apple and I will come to elements and I'm going to search for a ball. Select graphics and let me select this ball here. I'm going to drag it to the middle of the card and I will increase the size a bit. I'm going to change the color of the first letter of the text ball. So I'm going to highlight it, select the color picker, and I'm going to highlight it as blue. Now let's play around with the timings again. I'm going to click on position, select the character that you have just added, which is the ball. I'd want the ball to appear once the card has appeared on the screen. So we give it about 2 seconds, then drag the timing to that end. And I want the text to appear about 1 second or 2 after the ball has appeared. Next, I'm going to animate this text. So I'm going to click on this text and I can change the animation to, I'm going to leave it at wipe. I can reduce the speed a bit and I think that looks good. For this next scene, I'm going to click on the plus icon and I'm going to come over here to elements and I'm going to search for letter C. I'm going to select on graphics. I'm going to select this one here. I will increase the size to that point and I'm going to bring in sound K. Let's animate these two characters here. I'm going to click on the first one and I'm going to click on animate and I'm going to select on wiggle. I will reduce the intensity slightly. Then come over to the next character. Again, I'm going to click on animate and I will select wiggle. I will reduce the intensity as well. For the next scene, again, I'm going to duplicate the scene where we had adjusted the timing. So I'm going to click on duplicate page and I'm going to move it to the end. I'm going to delete letter B and soundable, bring in letter C, increase the size, bring in the sound. I'm going to click on position and I would want these two characters to move right behind the card. From here, I'm going to group these two characters. Click on the first one, second one, and I'm going to click on group. From here, I'm going to animate them. So I'd want them to move to the left. For that, I'm going to select the two characters. And then I'm going to click on animate, create an animation, and I'm going to drag them to this end. I'm going to increase the speed, bring in a character that represents sound K. So delete the ball, and I'm going to search for a cat. I will select graphics, and I will select this animated cat here. I will drag it right to the middle of the card, and I'm going to change the text to cat. Now let's change the timing for the different characters in this scene. So click on position, and we're going to select on the cat, and we would want our cat to appear about 2 seconds after our card appears. Drag the timing for the cat to this end. And I would want the text to appear 2 seconds after the cat has appeared. Let's preview it again. I will go ahead and I'm going to generate the remaining scenes. For the music, we are going to use an AI tool called Suno. Once you're on Suno, you will come over to your left and you're going to click on Create. Since I have the lyrics for my song, I'm going to select Custom. So I'm going to turn on this button and I'm going to paste in my lyrics. If you do not have your lyrics, you can deselect Custom and you can input the description of the kind of song that you'd want Suno to generate for you. I will turn back on the Custom button. I have my lyrics inside here. For the style of my music, I'm going to type in guitar, melody, children's voices, and I will leave it at that. Down here, I'm going to enter the title of my music, and my title is Sounds of the Alphabet. Once you're done, you're going to click on Create. Let's listen into the music that has been generated for us.
apple, apple, alligator, alligator, big ball, ball, big boy, boy, boo. Good cat. Hey.
It sounds really, really good. Let's listen into this second one.
Hey, apple, apple, alligator, alligator, big ball, ball, big boy, boo. See, chat.
So you can see that Suno AI is really amazing. We have two different versions of music that you can use for our video. I had already generated and downloaded a shorter version of the music that I'm going to use for my video. Once you've generated your music, you can click on the three dots here and then click on download. And you're going to download an audio. You will not download a video because our interest is on the audio. So click on audio. Once your music has been downloaded, you will come back to Canva and on your left, click on upload files, and you will upload the music that you just downloaded from Suno. I'm going to hide the timing for our different scenes so that everything is visible. Click on the three dots here and then click on hide timing. The next step is to bring in the music, and to do that, you're going to drag the music that you just uploaded onto Canva. We're going to drag it just below our different scenes. Let's listen in.
Hey.
From here, all you need to do is to align your scenes to match the song. I'm going to shorten the different scenes. So I'll shorten that scene, then listen in again.
Hey, B,
and again, I'm going to shorten the duration of this scene here. I'm going to reduce it further. For this one, I'll reduce it about 4 seconds or 4.5 seconds. Another way of reducing the timing is to just click on the scene and then come over here to your timer, click on it, and then change the timing. And this one is really precise. Let's listen in. Going to reduce this one to about 0.5 seconds. For D, I'm going to reduce the timing again to about 0.5 seconds. Let's reduce the timing for that scene there to about 0.4 seconds. Then hit enter. For this one, we're going to reduce it again to about 0.4 seconds. 0.5 seconds for that scene as well. Then listen in. For the last scenes where the instruments are just playing, you're going to bring in the different letters of the alphabet together with the elements representing those letters. I will start with letter A and sound A, bring in an apple, and then I'm going to just bring in some text. We can animate our text and then change the timing. We can also change the color of the text. And then we're going to move on to the next scene where I'm going to bring in letter B, animate it. We're going to copy the ball and we're also going to animate the ball. I'm going to change the timing for when the ball is going to appear on the screen. I'm going to bring in letter C and I'm going to animate it. So I'm going to click on animate, then click on create an animation. Then move it to this end. And then I'm going to bring in a cut. I'm going to copy this same cut here and I will take it to this end. And I'm going to change the timing for when the cut is going to appear. I'll place it somewhere there. I will reduce the timing for that scene to about 3.4 seconds. I'm going to do the same thing for the remaining scenes. Finally, we're going to add our musical notes to our different scenes. To do that, you're going to come over here to elements and we will search for musical notes. Select graphics. I'm going to pick on these beautiful musical notes here. Use the size slightly. And I'm going to animate them. I'm going to have them rotate slightly. When you're done with your video, you can download it by clicking on share and then click on download, and your file type is going to be an MP4 video. then click on download. If you enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos on animations. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep this creative journey going together. Until next time, God bless.